Hey, everybody. If you've been following along with the Constitutional Chaos podcast, we're back. We have covered the intro, three main branches of government, all of their responsibilities, how the power is divided, how they interact with one another. And now we're about to dive into the rest of setting up this country with Article 4. So, welcome back to the Green Eyed Girl podcast, Constitutional Chaos. All right, we're just going to dive right into Article 4. Article 4, Section 1. Full faith and credit shall be given in each state to public acts, records, and judicial proceedings of every other state. The Congress may, by general law, prescribe the manner in which such arts, records, and proceedings shall be proved and the effect thereof. This is basically the states have to provide all of the information back and forth so that everybody knows if somebody was a criminal in that state, they're also a criminal here, so on and so forth. And they know it basically just promotes working together between the states and unifying all of the records. So basically, one state can't hide their information from another state. Section 2. The citizens of each state shall be entitled to all privileges and immunities of the citizens in the several states. A person charged in any state with treason, felony, or other crime who shall flee from justice and be found in another state be delivered up shall on demand of the executive authority of the state from which he fled be delivered up to be removed to the state having jurisdiction of the crime. So any laws that are active in the state, if another citizen comes in, you get the same treatment. Again, just uniformity. You can't say, oh, well, you live here, you're not allowed to do this. It doesn't make any sense. While you're in that state, if something happens, you're covered under their laws. And if you flee from one state to another, you've broken a law in one state and you've tried to flee and hide in another. If the governor says, hey, give me back my person, you're going back. No person should be held to service or labor in one state under the law thereof, escaping to another, shall in consequence of any law or regulation therein be discharged from such service or labor, but shall be delivered up on claim of the party to whom such service or labor may be due. It's a different time back then. If you owed somebody a debt and you were working it off and you tried to run away to another state, you're going back. Section 3. New states shall be admitted by Congress into the Union, but no new state shall be formed or erected within the jurisdiction of any other state, nor any state be formed by jurisdiction of two or more states or parts of states without the consent of legislatures of the state concerned, as well as of the Congress. So a few years ago, there was like a mini state erected out. I believe it was in Portland. I think it was Portland. Don't hold me to that. But they were trying to basically create their own mini state within the state. Yeah, 100%. Constitution says no, can't do it. And states can't go and be formed together without the consent of all parties involved. The Congress shall have power to dispose of and make all needful rules and regulations respecting the territory or other properties belonging to the United States, and nothing in this Constitution shall be so construed as to prejudice any claim of the United States or any particular state. So basically, if you become a territory or anything else, hi, you belong to the U.S. and you will abide. Section 4, the United States shall guarantee to every state in this union a republican form of government, and shall protect each of them against invasion, and on the application of legislature or executive, when the legislature cannot be convened, against domestic violence. So essentially, your state can't be a monarchy, your state can't be a dictatorship. You're guaranteed to still have a republic, guaranteed to still have basically the mini setup of everything that is set out in the Constitution. So every state is going to have its own state representatives within their own legislatures. They're going to have their own governor. You can't just basically, you're not going to have a tyranny underneath the umbrella of the Constitution. So your governor can't just seize all of the power in your state and lock it down. The U.S. is going to get involved. That's all it's really saying. And again, domestic violence, that is the domestic violence. So another state can't come against you, so on and so forth. So that's Article 4. It's basically just setting out and saying, hey, when we get new territories, and this is how you're all going to get along. Everybody's going to have fair lines with one another. Yes, you are your own nation, but so long as we are all agreed that this is the law of the entire land and we all sign on to it, you're going to share your records and everything in between if they're requested. You're going to return people back to where they came from if they've escaped the law, so on and so forth. It's really just, hey, don't fight. Here's how we're going to keep the peace. Here's how we're going to make sure that everyone gets a fair shake. I like it personally. I think it's worked very well. I like that every state can have its own laws and little nuanced details, but you're not just going to accidentally wander into a tyranny, and except in special cases of COVID, very special cases of COVID. I digress. So this is basically the Constitution version of the Get Along shirt. If anybody's seen those when your kids are fighting, this is the Get Along t-shirt section. I think you're all going to appreciate this episode because it's very, very short. I hope you have a great day.